Also, you can comment on each episode on Spotify.
What's that?
That's my cat feeder.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a happy ending.
Time for food.
Time for food.
Teacher talk, oh teacher talk, having fun with Ben and Ray. Why are those boys so crazy? I guess they were born that way. We're speaking in English, 'cause we're doing it real slow.
It is a horse.
So come on everybody, hope that you enjoy the show.
Yeehaw!
Hot damn. I heard the hot damn for the first time.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
Yeah.
He says hot damn
That's
at the
weird.
end.
Yeah. Huh.
Huh. I guess you learn something new every day.
Indeed. What is this contraption on the floor next to me?
Oh, didn't I tell you about that? About the trap?
Yeah.
Well, it was a scary time,
Oh, man.
a few months ago.
Right.
There was some kind of animal
Yeah.
coming inside the walls of my house.
That's scary.
Did we talk about this?
You've told me some of it.
Okay. Well, I tried to trap it.
Right.
I bought this trap on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I put some delicious salmon on a dish.
Oh, the delicious salmon?
Yeah.
Man.
And I set it out there outside where I thought the animal was coming in and out of my house.
Right.
But I never trapped anyone.
Right.
I failed.
You failed.
Okay? I failed, Rich.
Nothing was trapped.
Are you happy?
But how long was it outside?
I left it out probably 3 or 4 or 5 nights or something. And it had been over a week since I heard the animal in my walls.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I just thought, well, it seems like the animal's gone.
Right.
So before it comes back, I'll just close the openings where it was getting in.
And then you should be fine.
And I should be fine.
Do you have any idea what kind of animal it was?
Yeah, I talked about it. I thought it was maybe a civet,
Uh-huh.
a hakubishi,
Yes.
they call it,
Yeah.
or a raccoon of some kind.
Right. The tanuki.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my house is very close to a forest.
Right.
Anyway, I got skunked.
You got skunked. You did. You got tricked big time.
That's an expression often used when you're fishing.
Right.
You go fishing and you don't catch any fish.
Right.
You say, I got skunked.
What are you going to do with the trap?
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I bought this big trap on Amazon.
It is quite big.
I know. Yeah. And now I don't need it anymore. And now I have this big trap that I don't know what to do with.
What would you have done if you had trapped it?
My plan was I would trap it. I'd come down one day in the morning and this wild beast angry and inside the trap.
Take a piss on it.
No, Rich.
Just joking.
What? Richard. Richard
Oh
Earl
my
Kessel.
God.
That's something Ben would do, or Ben would say. He did piss on a dog, remember?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Rich, I wouldn't piss on the poor wild animal.
Okay.
I would
cook it up.
No. Jesus. No, I wouldn't try to hurt it or kill it or even take it somewhere.
Where would you release it?
Well, my plan was just trap it.
Right.
And when it's trapped, I know 100% it's not inside my house.
Right.
So close the right?
Okay.
Close the openings
Right.
while it's trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it can't get back in.
Right. And then just release it.
And then just open the trap and let it go wherever it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my plan.
I've got a student who's pretty high up in the forestry department here in Sendai.
The forestry department?
And that's part of her job, like getting...
Trapping animals?
Yeah. And she has a pet meerkat.
Really?
Yeah, because
That's like the really big cats that live in the forest.
yeah, like the story is someone saw it, they trapped it, and she was like, "Oh, I'll just keep it as a pet." So it's been like 4 or 5 years.
Those things freak me out.
Yeah, I would never do it, but
Really
she's
big.
like totally into
Like
it.
they could really
I know.
cause some
Problem.
damage and harm if it got angry.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why she does that. Yeah.
Well, she must love cats.
Yeah, she's kind of interesting. She's always like going out to the forests and doing things and then answering calls from citizens. Like there's an animal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So would she be the
Yeah.
kind of person I would call?
I'm going to assume because she actually is working in the city. So you'd probably call her department.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think she wants to buy a trap?
I can ask her.
Please do. I want to get rid of this big stupid trap.
Yeah.
I don't need a trap anymore.
I'm sure her office would have a use for it.
Well, if she wants my trap,
Yeah.
I'll happily give it to her.
Sure.
But then in the future, if I have any,
You need to
Problem.
borrow it back.
yeah, or she'll just come and help me with whatever the wild animal problem I have. And that would be a good deal.
I could probably be in contact with her within like 24 hours because she's friends with the owner of the company I work with. So I'm pretty much guarantee they have her phone number.
Well, yeah, you know.
I mean, I'm not going to do that until the next
It-
time I see her.
Don't go out of your way.
No, I won't, but I'll definitely tell her.
Yeah.
She's a private student at my work, so
okay, so if
really easy.
if the topic comes up, maybe let her know that your friend has a brand new trap, never trapped anything,
No,
and I don't need it anymore.
right.
It's
All right.
it's just taking up space.
It is.
It's just collecting dust.
It is.
So I'd like to get rid of it actually. Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Yay.
Yeah.
See, sometimes your friends can lend you a helping hand.
Sure.
Yes. It's important
Yeah.
to have friends.
In fact, I feel like you and I have had this conversation about us having lived here for a very long time. And we kind of sometimes go out of our way to help foreigners who might not know what to do in certain circumstances. Or I've certainly accepted furniture from people in knowing that at some point someone's going to need it.
You mean you've kept
Yeah.
furniture at your house and then given it back later?
Or like to a new person that I meet.
Oh, you mean someone says, "Hey, do you want this sofa?"
Yeah,
And you
oftentimes.
say, "Well, no, but I'll take it."
Right.
And I know someone else will want it later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Yeah. Because especially the past 10 years, my work has been hiring a lot of university people to
Oh,
teach. So they're constantly in and out, but they know everybody. So if I just go like, dude, I've had a TV stand, I've had
anybody
bookshelves.
want a TV?
Someone always wants it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me. When I bought a new TV a few years ago,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get rid of my old one, which is, it was a 42
It's
inch,
still a nice one.
but it was 10 years old.
Right.
It wasn't so thin and light like the new ones. It was,
Thick.
it was probably 12 centimeters thick,
Yeah.
big
Right.
Toshiba TV, quite heavy.
Yeah. They're real heavy.
They used to be.
Now they're light.
Now they're much lighter. Yeah.
And thinner.
So it's this big, heavy 42-inch TV, and I put it on Facebook.
Right.
It just said, if anyone wants it,
Right.
just come and you can have it. Just bring a car or whatever. First come, first serve.
Right.
And this guy shows up. I think he was Indian, but I'm not sure. And he shows up at my house, and I say, "Hey, buddy, yeah, here. Do you want to come in? Like, I'll plug it in. You can make sure it works if
Right.
you want." And
Right.
he was like, "No, that's okay." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, where's your car?" And he's like, "No car."
What?
I'm like, how are you going to
Transport.
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And he was like, I've got my bicycle.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So his bicycle was the kind that have a basket on the front,
You could put the base in the basket.
like kind of
Right.
diagonal,
Right.
kind of tipped it and like put
Oh my God.
it in there. And then like he was walking his bicycle and like balancing it.
Oh man.
Like it looked like he was going to drop it.
Right.
I was like, bro, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like you could just leave it here and maybe later your friend can
Right.
help you with a car or something.
Right.
No, this is fine, thank you.
That's hilarious.
And he just walks off with his bicycle balancing this huge TV.
He really wanted that TV, man.
It was first come first serve. So yeah,
He got here first.
he got here first and yeah, he left with the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people have very strange stories about this. Like
When you do
what is it called? The
uh,
flea market. Flea market.
yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook Sendai flea market.
Right.
Yeah.
Tons of people have crazy stories.
Yeah. There's a lot of weirdos on there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
One time I was getting rid of my bed.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was just like, I can't remember. Maybe I asked for a little money, but not much.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, but you have to come and pick it up yourself.
Right.
And I got these messages from these guys. Like one guy was like, like, can you fit 3 people? Can 3 people sleep on the bed?
It's like, what is
And it's a queen size bed. And I'm like, well, I don't know. That's up to you. It's a queen size bed. What do you mean? Can 3 people like?
It's your choice, bro.
Yeah. And then he said, okay, I'm coming to get it. And he didn't show up.
Right. That happens a lot.
Yes. That happens a lot. And that's super annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, it's 1 o'clock. Where are you?
Right.
He's like, oh, yeah. I'll be there. Maybe 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Like, I got to go.
Right.
I said, don't be late, because people will always be late and not show up.
Right.
I told him, like, okay, no, too bad.
You're out.
Because other people
Right.
had also contacted me.
Right.
They said, well, too bad. I'm going to the next person.
Right.
Like, he wanted to come 2 or 3 hours after the time he said, but I had to go to work.
Right.
So I'm just like, too bad, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't have time for
You missed your chance.
And he got really angry. Wow. Like, fuck you. I don't want your bed anyway. I'm going to buy a new one. I'm like, okay.
All right.
You and your 2 other friends.
Yeah.
He swore and he was really angry at me.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just like, then show up. Anyway, Richard.
All right. We got a question.
Yeah.
All right.
International.
Got a question? Don't be shy. 'Cause Abe and Rich are real nice guys. If you've got a question, don't hold back. 'Cause Rich and Abe will answer that.
Here we go.
Oh, nice. We got some exciting sound effects.
Oops. I'm going to do this one.
Ooh.
We've got a question, an international question from our friend in Russia.
Nice. Tip of the hat.
Yeah. All right. Our friend in Russia, Demonchik.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question he asks is, he was talking to a dog groomer,
Mm-hmm.
and the dog groomer said that most veterinarians retire quite young.
Okay.
Yeah, animal doctors retire young because of the stress of their work. You have to kill a lot of animals and see a lot of animals die.
Right.
And that it's a really stressful job, etc. And he's wondering, how my dad dealt with all the stress.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, we talked to my dad about becoming a veterinarian,
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
and I kind of mentioned this.
Yeah.
That people don't understand how emotionally and mentally hard that job is.
Sure.
But my dad never really answered the question.
No.
He was kind of like,
Evasive.
nope.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be a veterinarian. Nope, never had any other thoughts.
Yeah. I also feel like he just told us about his days on the ship too.
Yeah.
Like he didn't.
Well, we talked about finding your path in life.
Right.
So that was a part of the story.
Right.
It's like being crazy and young and working on boats and then becoming a veterinarian.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't so much about being a veterinarian.
No, it was just about anyway, my dad actually taught a course for people about,
This aspect of
euthanasia.
Okay.
Yeah, killing animals.
Right.
In Japanese, it's called anrakushi.
Anrakushi.
Yeah. So my dad was actually a professor in a special course for new veterinarians where he would kind of teach them about having to do this. And this is a big part of the job in North America.
Okay.
It's not the same in Japan.
Oh, really? Okay.
No. He got fired
What? Why?
because he wore a leather jacket and some very small, round sunglasses.
What's wrong with that?
And he came into class on the first day and he said, "I'm Dr. Death,
Nice.
and I'm going to teach you how to kill."
Okay.
And-
a little heavy. That doesn't seem like a fireable.
And like for him, that was like
Right.
the way to kind of break the ice.
Right.
This very difficult,
Right.
hard topic.
Right.
But some students didn't like it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, there's no light way to talk about it.
Yeah.
You're killing animals.
Yes. I remember a few times my mom being very emotional when she saw something horrific.
Right.
And usually the things that would bother both my parents the most were when you have a case where an animal has been completely ignored or neglected,
Right.
and the people like don't even realize that it's got this terrible infection,
Right.
and you can see that the animal's been suffering with this infection. There's like,
Whatever. Pus.
and flies and
Right,
everything.
right.
Like,
That's terrible.
yes. And I think those were the cases that were
Right.
the most difficult.
Yeah. That's understandable.
I don't
Like
know how my dad dealt with it. I would say my dad is a hunter as well as a veterinarian. So he grew up hunting and being familiar with killing animals for food and
Right.
just kind of, I guess he had a very strong connection and understanding with like, life and death
Right.
when it comes to animals.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't think he had a problem. I don't think it was something that really bothered him. And I will say that the euthanasia part of it was not as bad as when you see an animal that's been ignored and neglected and has been suffering, and then finally they bring it to the veterinarian, and the veterinarian, like my mom would look at it and be like, "Oh my God,
Right.
like, what have you guys been doing
Right.
or not doing?"
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe his attitude was just like, I'm the man that's going to solve this problem. And I can be happy that I'm going
That he tried his best.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Even euthanizing an animal in pain, there's some
You're ending the
whatever,
the
like,
suffering.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
take a little bit of happiness from that and going like, it's in a better place now.
And in Japan, the philosophy about this is very different.
Is it?
In general, yes, they don't do euthanasia nearly as much.
Really? Okay.
Yep. The philosophy is very different. It's more like, I mean, I remember one veterinarian when I had my cat was dying, my first cat. He said like, I don't do that, and I was shocked because you have to do that in
Right.
Canada. Like that's a part of being a veterinarian. And he was like, no, an animal would never choose to die.
Mm.
And I thought, that is kind of true. But an animal would also never choose to be a pet.
Right. That's also true.
Yeah. So it's like you're taking responsibility for the
Right.
life.
Right.
So I don't know. I think the way I grew up thinking of I think that's more correct, but I don't blame the way it is here because it's just different culture,
Right.
different philosophy. Yeah.
What about old people in Japan? Do
No.
they
No,
pull the plug?
No, see, that's another big difference. In Canada, you can choose to die
Right.
as a person.
Yeah.
It's called MAID, medical assisted
Yeah, I forget.
something death. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about just like, my mother's mom had a massive stroke. She was functionally brain dead. They made the decision to, what we say, unplug her from life
Right.
support.
Right.
She ended up living like an extra few days, much to everybody's surprise. But
So she ended up being able to breathe on her own for a while.
a few days.
Right.
But everybody was like, look, this is the decision. She's 80 something. She's had a massive stroke. She's not waking up.
Right.
So,
And then she just passes away naturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a few doctors in my family, and all of them say you should make it very clear
Right.
when you write your will.
Right. What you want done.
Yeah, what you want after you die, your will.
Right.
You should make it very clear
Right.
that you refuse life support.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because they see these people that don't make it clear, and then they're just like,
Right.
dying forever.
Right.
So yeah, that's a big difference in culture.
Sure. Sure.
Not only do we have euthanasia for animals, you can even do it for people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, that's a heavy topic.
That was a heavy one, Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Russia.
Yeah.
Bring the sunshine.
Yeah, man.
Brighten our day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Russians.
Black Russian.
Black Russian.
That's a cocktail.
It's a cocktail. Yes.
Black Russian. Yeah, come on.
A white Russian is too, right?
Right. A white Russian is the same thing, but with milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kahlua and vodka.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got a student right now. Her dog has dementia. I'm like, how do you know?
Yeah. How do you know? Ruff. Ruff.
Yeah, kind of. She just goes, it seems very confused all the time. And I'm like, all right. She's just like, it looks so sad all the time, and it just kind of lays there.
Aw.
I guess you're right. I mean, I didn't want to make her feel sad, so I didn't say like, do you want to euthanize it? Didn't want to go that route, but she didn't go that route either.
No,
Right.
I don't. In Japan, it would be very difficult.
Right.
Yeah. Like I looked into it when my cat was dying from AIDS.
Right.
It was very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cat ended up dying while I was looking for ways I could find someone to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not.
She passed away. So, in my thinking, she could have been saved a few days of really bad suffering, but, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. It is true, probably she wouldn't have chosen to die because she's an animal and animals don't think that deeply.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. Animals don't choose to die, but they also don't choose to be in pain. And they don't have the choice to end the pain. And if we could,
You can
save it from pain.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it
It
is.
depends
sure.
on a lot of things. Oh, sorry for the kind of dark ending to the show there.
That was a dark ending.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, if you'd like to ask us some happy questions,
Yeah. Feel free.
yeah,
We like happy questions.
reach out. That question came from Instagram. You can reach us on Instagram or X, or of course you can contact us on Apple Podcast by leaving a review and writing your question in the review.
Right.
That would be a double happy day.
A double happy day. I love
Get
it.
a review and a question.
I love it.
Also, you can comment on each episode on Spotify.
What's that?
That's my cat feeder.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a happy ending.
Time for food.
Time for food.